Tonight on 7 News, the cleanup efforts begin as footage from Florida continues to display the devastation left in Hurricane Ian's wake. The Watertown Red and Black look to go back-to-back as they host the Empire Football League Championship at home. But first, Breast Cancer Awareness Month begins in the North Country as hundreds gather to walk in Gouverneur and young and old race for a good cause in Watertown. Good evening, I'm Zach Grady. Brendan Straub is off this weekend. Hundreds came out Saturday morning in Gouverneur, all dressed in their pink socks, shirts, and stickers. Saturday started Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and 7 News reporter Sandy Torres was on scene in St. Lawrence County.
Several hover over a bridge in Gouverneur to toss rose petals into a stream. For some, there are wishing petals. For others, it's a way to commemorate and honor breast cancer survivors. Survivors like Sharon Yerden, who was diagnosed nearly a decade ago. Today, she lives cancer-free.
Makes me happy to wake up every morning and be alive, especially at my age.
Yerden came out with her first student bus community to the Gouverneur Breast Cancer Walk. The awareness walk has raised funds for local women battling cancer. $190,000 have been raised. These funds provide women with resources like financial assistance and emotional support while dealing with the disease. Claxton Hepburn Medical Center Community Outreach Coordinator Michelle Catlin says this is vital for these women.
Women shouldn't have to decide whether they can, feed their kids versus get cancer treatment. We live in a very poor community, so it's really any resources that people can get when they have cancer is helpful.
Breast cancer survivor Brenda Patchen is currently going through treatment. She says although it's a tough journey,
I get very tired, but I keep plugging away, and I encourage everybody that's in the treatment and that needs somebody just to keep the courage up.
She says knowing she can count on her family and friends gives her more courage to keep battling.
This year, hundreds came out to the Gouverneur Breast Cancer Walk and say they felt a community sentiment. If you weren't able to come out and would like to help out the cause, please head to our website. Sandy Torres, 7 News.
The American Cancer Society rolled out their own awareness event Saturday morning as they started Breast Cancer Awareness Month in Jefferson County. Contestants of all ages took to the top of Rand Drive for the second annual Great Pumpkin Race. The American Cancer Society's Making Strides Against Breast Cancer hosted the event. The Derby is one of several Making Strides Against Breast Cancer events that they are hosting this month. The group is also hosting a breast cancer awareness walk at the Alex T. Duffy Fairgrounds on October 22nd.
The pumpkins were so amazing. Everybody had a great outlook. Everybody just enjoyed it. It was fun. It was exciting. It was definitely a racing atmosphere.
I'm excited. I'm happy with myself. I was happy.
How are you going to celebrate?
Be happy.
Prizes were awarded in 3 divisions, youth, teen, and adults. The pumpkins were judged for both their speed down the hill and the creativity of their design. Time now for our first look at the forecast.
Well, Zach, it's been a gloomy day for us today. We still have some clouds out there for many locations, and that's the way that it's going to stay for most of the nighttime hours before they start clearing on out. But first, weather is brought to you by Doors Plus, garage for sales and service in Adams Center. Give them a call at 315-777-8550. Here close to home, like I said, some clouds out there. They are starting to clear out for some locations, and that's the way that it's going to stay as we go through the rest of the nighttime hours. And once they do clear out, our winds will pick up even more than what they have, and it's going to really drop our temperatures into the lower 40s and upper 30s. Tomorrow, a cooler day, highs in the 50s, and breezy conditions. But the question is, do we have any rain in the forecast? Well, Zach, I'll have that answer coming up here in just a few.
Thanks, Chris. Songs and prayers be heard throughout Watertown's public square as pro-life advocates rallied against abortion rights. Each year, Life Change forms in cities nationwide to make a peaceful and public stand for life. This is the second year Life Right of Watertown and other pro-life advocates have joined the national Life Chain. The group hopes to raise awareness against both abortion rights in the North Country and across the United States.
Pastor Ed will be speaking. We have some singing. People will be holding signs around the perimeter of the public square, and also we'll be doing the rosary and other prayers.
Life Right of Watertown is a nonprofit organization. They say their mission is dedicated to the sanctity of all human life, both born and unborn. Governor Kathy Hochul looks to drive New York automobiles into zero emissions by 2035. Governor Kathy Hochul announced Thursday that New York is investing more than $1 billion in zero-emission vehicles of all weight classes over the next 5 years. Additionally, New York State is making $5.75 million available to help municipalities purchase or lease zero-emission vehicles for use. Likewise, another $10 million was added to the Drive Clean rebate program to help consumers purchase or lease electric vehicles.
Can't undo the past, but we can look to the future. And we're going to continue making New York State the home of electric vehicle usage. And not someday in the future, but on a specific date, a specific year, by the year 2035.
New York State will also receive $175 million in federal funding to establish an electric vehicle charging network. Still ahead on 7 News. Ian continues its path up the East Coast as we get a glimpse into the damage left in its wake. And America's oldest living president celebrates his 98th birthday with friends and family.
From the North Country's news station, you're watching 7 News Tonight with Brendan Straub. Weekend weather with Chris Hudson. And your North Country sports with Rob Crone.
Look at Weather is sponsored in part by Doors Plus, Adams Center, 315.
Hurricane Ian is being blamed for more than 24 deaths in Florida. The storm is no longer a hurricane, but is still moving along the East Coast north. The devastation left behind will be seen for weeks, possibly months. CBS's Jason Allen is in Northport, Florida, with the latest.
Residents across Central Florida are doing what they can to help each other in the devastating wake of Hurricane Ian. Kaylin Early is trying to get through the floodwaters to get her grandparents a generator.
I think we're just about at 8 feet right now.
So your only choice here obviously was
kayak.
And so this is the only way out for you guys right now?
Pretty much. Jimmy Finks is ferrying his neighbors to safety until more help arrives.
And they're supposedly airboating people out, but I don't know, the water's getting pretty high, so I want to get out while we can.
Governor Ron DeSantis says crews have knocked on more than 3,000 doors as they look for survivors, including on hard-hit Sanibel Island, which had its lone bridge to the mainland washed away.
I think the issue is going to be who is going to want to stay there long term, knowing that the power situation is not great.
Hurricane Ian is estimated to be one of the costliest storms in U.S. history. President Biden said 44,000 workers from more than 33 states are working around the clock to try to restore power.
It's going to take months, years to rebuild. And our hearts go out to all those folks whose lives have been absolutely devastated by this storm.
Many residents are simply overwhelmed at the cleanup that's ahead of them.
I just told myself I feel like I want to sit in the corner and cry. I don't know what else to do. I just don't know.
On Friday, Ian made landfall for the second time in the U.S., this time in South Carolina, but as a weaker Category 1 storm.
Oh man, it's washing it away.
It's still packed enough punch to wreck this pier. Jason Allen, CBS News, Northport, Florida.
Chris, are we going to see any of the effects of the hurricane here in the North Country?
The good news for us is no, and the National Hurricane Center has issued its last advisory for Ian, so goodbye and good riddance to that storm. But we do have some breezy conditions in the forecast, so details on that coming up next.
Your driveway looking bland, looking run down.
Now, tonight's weather.
Well, it was a gloomy day for us today with all the cloud cover that we did have. And you know what? Tonight's not that bad of a night for us. It is a little breezy out there for many locations, and that's the way that it's going to stay as we continue going through the overnight hours. But taking a look at all those live cameras throughout the entire North Country, we can see no rain out there. No rain is expected tonight or tomorrow or even for the majority of the week, but we do have a little bit of rain coming into the forecast later in the week. More details on that coming up. But here in downtown Watertown, nice quiet night for us. And like I said, winds have been picking up, so it is a little breezy at times. Winds coming out of the north-northeast at 13 miles per hour. Current temperature 54 degrees. Now, as we continue to go throughout the overnight hours and the clouds continue to clear on out, that temperature will be dropping down close to the lower 40s, should I say, for many locations. Currently 50 degrees Tupper Lake, also 50 degrees Wanakena, 55 for Messina and Brazier Falls, 46 Lowville, and 52 degrees for Fort Drum. So temperatures really aren't that bad. Like I said, later tonight they will be dropping down into the lower 40s, and that's where we were earlier this morning as well. 41 degrees was the low today, 64 the high, and that's pretty much average for where we should be for this time of the year. So it was a typical fall day for us. And tomorrow it's going to be a little bit cooler and breezy as well. We're talking highs only getting up into the mid 50s, and those winds coming out of the northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. A little bit breezier than that at times, as those gusts will reach upwards of 40 miles per hour. But more details on that coming up here in a second. But as we go overnight tonight, like I said, clouds clear on out tomorrow morning, waking up in the upper 30s to lower 40s for most locations after the clouds clear on out. It's going to be breezy as well, and that's the way that it stays throughout the day. By noon, still seeing a lot of sunshine out there. Clouds continuing to remain very minimum out there, and temperatures in the lower 50s. And they don't climb a whole lot more as we go through the afternoon towards 6 o'clock. Still keeping it mostly sunny, and temperatures pretty much stationary right there in the lower 50s to mid 50s for most locations. And then as we go overnight Sunday into Monday, still a lot of sunshine, but you notice those temperatures drop down into the 30s. So that's something we're going to watch for. But like I said, winds are going to be the big story tomorrow, gusting anywhere around 30 to 40 miles per hour at times. Even going towards, say, 7 o'clock in the morning, those winds still gusty. Mainly for Jefferson County is where we're going to see the higher wind gusts, and then the rest of us just a little breezy at times. You know, kind of that typical fall-like thing for us with those breezy conditions. But as we go towards the evening hours tomorrow and overnight, the winds start dying down. So that's some good news as we head towards Monday. Speaking of Monday, a lot of sunshine in the forecast for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Temperatures in those lower to mid 60s as well. Rain doesn't return to the forecast till we get towards next Friday, and it's only a 50% chance, so keeping an eye on that. But those temperatures, very seasonable for us for this time of the year, and still no first freeze in sight for Watertown.
You know, I'm not going to complain about 60-degree weather to start off the beginning of October, that is for sure.
Yeah, it's very seasonal for us.
I'll take it every day. So Rob Crone is in next. The Red and Black look to go back-to-back with highlights from the Watertown Championship game.
Kick off the fall season at the Hot Dealers.
The evening lotto numbers, the daily 497 and the win 4947. Former U.S. President Jimmy Carter turns 98 years old Saturday. Carter became the oldest living U.S. president after George Herbert Walker Bush died in 2018 at 94. The Carter Center is hosting a series of virtual events to celebrate his legacy. Carter was a peanut farmer before joining the U.S. Navy and becoming a lieutenant. He served as one-term governor of Georgia and as well one term as president of the United States from 1977 to 1981. The former president received the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002 for his efforts to push for peace across the globe. Carter is celebrating his birthday at home with friends and family. The Daily Show host Trevor Noah has announced he will step away from the anchor desk. In a video statement shared on Twitter, Noah said that after 7 years as host of one of Comedy Central's flagship programs, his time is up. Noah, a stand-up comedian from South Africa, replaced Jon Stewart at the Daily Show desk after Stewart signed off in 2015. Noah hinted that his decision to leave the show was due to his desire to return more in the stand-up comedy work. He did not share when his final show would be, but he said he would still be around for a little while. Rob, I got my red and black on today.
Yeah, it was a good choice because the Red and Black repeat as EFL champs. We'll have highlights and post-game coming up next.
Now your North Country Sports.
It's time for your Toyota Sports Report. The Watertown Red and Black looking to cap off an undefeated season with their second straight EFL championship tonight at George Ashcraft Field, where they met Glens Falls. Mel Bustler was on the sidelines and has the highlights.
Young and old on hand as the Red and Black look to complete a perfect season and win a second straight EFL title. Scoreless first quarter. Second play of the second quarter, Glens Falls with a fake field goal attempt. The 21-yard touchdown pass giving the Green Jackets a 7-0 lead. The Red and Black defense stiffens. Jeremy Machia records the quarterback sack. Later in the second quarter, Jason Williams connects with DeQuace Jackson for a 25-yard touchdown strike. Eric Byler connects for the extra point, tying the game at 7. Still in the second quarter, Jason Williams to Zachary Todd. The play covers 27 yards, 14-7 Red and Black at the half. Third quarter, Jason Williams finds Chris Furr for a 30-yard touchdown, expanding the Red and Black lead to 21-7. Later in the third quarter, Jason Williams to Kalan Jeter. 10 yards for the score, now 28-7 Glens Falls. Fourth quarter, 28-14 Red and Black. Watertown defense records a safety, Dylan Bice leading the way. Now 30-14 Red and Black. That's the way it ends. Watertown wins a second straight championship by beating Glens Falls 30-14.
I mean, it was a little dicey at first, but I mean, we persevered. We've done it before against Broome the first time, or the last time we played him at home. I believed in our team, and we came out with the win. Back-to-back champions.
Glens Falls was a great opponent, but at the end of the day, we ended up coming up on top.
It's a great win. Like I said, we came in, got the job done, and I just love it. There's no better feeling to go back-to-back. As you can see the crowd, we getting hyped. It's just, I love it, man.
Couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier. It's surreal, everything that's come our way this year, you know, to be 13-0 and win 2 championships back-to-back like this. It's what it's all about, and it's been a long time coming for our team, but they've earned every bit of it.
From the Alex Duffy Fairgrounds, Mel Bustler, 7 News Sports.
Thanks, Mel. Women's college hockey from Cheel Arena. Clarkson hosting Bemidji State. First period, Bemidji State on the power play. Ella Annex sticks one home. A power play tally, 1-0 Bemidji State. Late first, the Lady Golden Knights tie it up. Darcy Lappin dents the back of the net. A power play tally, 1-1 after 1. Second period, Clarkson takes the lead. Olivia Hansen lights the lamp, putting Clarkson on top 2-1. This game would end in a 2-2 overtime tie. Down the road at Appleton Arena, the Lady Saints of St. Lawrence meeting Penn State. Second period, Lady Saints down 1-0 when Julia Gosling tickles Twine, knotting the score at 1 apiece. Third period, 3-1 Penn State. Abby Hustler goes top shelf, cutting the Penn State lead to 3-2. Lady Saints fall to Penn State 4-2. 2 other scores from today, men's college hockey. Well, we're going to go to Girls Frontier League Lacrosse. Watertown hosting Lowville. Lowville with a good chance early on, but Mia Hanselman's shot is stopped by Ava Verga. Watertown gets on the board first. Willow Overton buries the blast off the direct kick. 1-0 Watertown at the half. Watertown goes on to beat Lowville 3-1. Other soccer scores from today. Girls play Indian River over Carthage, South Lewistown, Sandy Creek, Belleville, Henderson over Alexandria, Beaver River a winner over Hewelton, St. Lawrence Central Downs brushed Myra, Parishville, Hopkinton, Madrid, Waddington tie at 2, Harrisville doubles up Lisbon. Boys High School soccer, Lowville over Holland Patton, Lisbon defeats Colton Pierpont, Northeastern Clinton over OFA, Waterford Half Moon defeats Madrid Waddington. All right, that's going to do it in sports. We'll bring you back in. Zach, come on in. There we go. Let's do a little sports trivia.
Who do we got? And we said back to back for the Red and Black, but who was the last team before that to win back-to-back championships?
I'm going to say it was Syracuse.
You are correct. 2015 and 16 actually beat Watertown in one of those championship games. Beat them in 2015.
Yeah, one other quick note, men's college hockey, Clarkson a winner, St. Lawrence falls to UMass Lowell. That's going to do it in sports.
We're back in just a few moments as well. That's going to be it for us tonight, but before we get out of here, I want to wish a happy birthday to our very own Rob Crone.
That's right, 39 today. No, just kidding.
No, it's not
62,
39.
like what Judge is chasing, right?
Yeah, we got to go. Have a good night.